creamy jalapeno dip.
And I've officially run out of ways to tease this show.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Dane Brugler going to join us in 10 minutes. His final mock draft came out this morning. It went chalk off the top. Cam Ward at number 1, Travis Hunter to Cleveland at number 2, Abdul Carter 3 to the Giants. Abdul even made comments yesterday about when I get to New York. So like it feels like the worst kept secret. We had Denzel Ward up in Cleveland talking about how he's willing to work out with Travis Hunter, and they've already talked once he becomes a Brown, provided he becomes a Brown. New England tackle Will Campbell out of LSU, and then Jacksonville Ashton Genty. So Nate Davis had that a couple weeks ago, and there are more and more folks who seem to be heading that way, that Genty to Jacksonville is the pick. For Cincinnati and the Bengals, Tyler Booker, the guard out of Alabama. Houston taking our guy Josh Simmons at 25. Jackson Dart, the trade happens with the Giants coming back into the Rams to get him at 26 overall, and no Shedeur Sanders in the first round. I'll ask Dane if he thinks that means the Browns will take Shedeur at the top of the second round. You guys are both Browns fans. If you were Andrew Berry, what would you do tonight? And what do you hope to accomplish this weekend?
So the Travis Hunter pick works. If you get that Godfather offer of a pick swap in the first this year, the team wanting to trade up their first next year, and some later round draft compensation, I'll take it. But
how far down would you be willing to fall in this draft?
I'd say 14. Because the Colts, I don't think, will be good this year. So if you get
their part of it, right?
If you get their first round pick next year, like the Colts, the Cowboys, the Bears, like those double digit teams, I think will be right back to picking at that point next year. And if you're the Browns and you can improve record wise this season, you might have picks that could be as close as back to back if the Godfather offer's given, and if you accept the Godfather offer for one of those to come up and get that number 2 spot. But if they're picking at 2, pick Travis Hunter. And then best offensive weapon available, then that's who you take, in my opinion, at 33. And I'm looking at a mock that says Emeka Egbuka at 33 will be the best offensive player available. And I'm running to throw that card in.
I can't imagine he gets there, but we'll see.
But it'd be great as a Browns fan if he could, because the wide receiver position has been a miss. Unless the guy's been ready to go into the NFL immediately, most of the players that have been picked for Cleveland have been developmental projects, to say the least.
So some of the guys, real quick, Bake, before you weigh in, that would be available around that 14 range. I mean, that's Tet McMillan. That's Derek Harmon, the defensive tackle out of Oregon. James Pierce, the edge out of Tennessee. Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Ole Miss. Like, those are the type of players that are in that mid-teens area. Go ahead, Bake. What would you do?
So I've said all along, if I was the Browns and the deal was a good deal, I would trade back and add more.
How would you define a good deal?
You get somebody's pick this year that's still high in the draft, first round next year, and maybe some kind of player or late round pick. Like, to me, if I'm the Browns, I would be... If what we hear is right, that the Bears are really interested in Ashton Genty, I think that's the team I would be targeting, because I'm also not sure how great the Bears are going to be next year, especially in the division they play in with Detroit and Minnesota and Green Bay. So that would be a team that I would think you're still in the top 10. Maybe you could get a guy like Mason Graham. If you get Emeka Egbuka at the top of the second round, I've already said, I think Emeka Egbuka, if he goes to the second round, is the steal of this draft. Because
he's going to go there. I think he'll go sooner.
I think he has to, right? He's
could go 20 to Denver, honestly. I mean, I think he's going to be in that range.
Yeah.
He's too good of a player.
He's too good of a player.
Yeah. I don't see it. I hear where you guys are coming from. I'm wondering how much is of your built-in Cleveland fandom and fear of missing in the draft weighs into the Godfather offer. Because here's a little secret. The Browns picked a tackle in the first round named Jed Wills. Jed Wills is currently not on an NFL team. They didn't pick up his option. He's not on an NFL team. You don't ever hear about it. Because when you miss on a tackle at 10, it comes and it goes. How often do you hear about Billy Price with Cincinnati? You don't. It's they come and they go. Who's the tackle from Bama that Cincinnati took a few years ago too, that they had in the first round that I'm blanking on. So there are these instances where, like, if you draft an offensive lineman, a defensive tackle, they come and they go, and there's not it's not magnified the way that would be. If they take Hunter at 2, who is universally regarded as the best player in this draft, and he doesn't hit, you're going to hear about it. You are. And I think it's not like missing on a quarterback, which is a whole different thing. I think there's a ton of Browns fans that don't want him to pick a quarterback because they don't want to have, another name on that never-ending jersey. But to me, if you look at these mock drafts, you look at the best players available, it feels like when you play that game, there is a list of 5 or 6 that are blue chips. And it's Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Ashton Genty. A lot of times it's Jalen Walker. It's Mason Graham. Like, that's kind of the list of blue chips. And then Cam Ward kind of snuck into that. And he's going to go number 1 overall, so you're not going to have to deal with that. But those are kind of it. So if you trade out of that, if they were to trade back, I guess what I would be looking for if I were them, if they do trade, and I wouldn't go as far as you're saying, Reese, I would do only in the top 10. I would want either Tyler Warren or I'd want Colston Loveland. They seem to be the best weapons in this draft who aren't Travis Hunter. And they only have 1 tight end on the roster as it stands. So that's probably what I would be thinking on that side of things. In terms of the Bengals, man, I would be loving an edge. I think they need help. I'm dubious to think they're going to bring back Trey Hendrickson. I think they need defensive line help. I would weapons for Browns, defensive weapons for the Bengals. That would be, kind of my view on how that thing ought to go. And I do think Pittsburgh at 21 is fascinating. That's a fascinating play. And we'll see if my theory about they know what they're getting, that they're going to have Aaron Rodgers or not. I think who they pick at 21 will go a long way in determining that. Because if it is Rodgers, it's probably for 2 years for Aaron. At least one, and I think probably it'd be a 2-year deal. So then you don't have to take one at 21. And you can draft a position player and say, we're pretty close. We got a future Hall of Famer at quarterback. We've got the talent that we have at receiver, and now we're going to add to it. That's what makes it fascinating. I hope the Browns stay at 2, and I hope they take Travis Hunter. And I think you sleep well at night with that. I think that's a win, and then you can address quarterback and more weapons as the draft goes along. But they do, with Cam Ward at 1, and I saw a Tom Pelissero report just here in the last hour or so saying the Browns are not likely to trade out of 2. Yeah, I could have told you. Yeah, they're not. The Godfather offers aren't coming. And so take the best player in the draft. Go ahead, Rick.
So in Brugler's mock, he's got the Rams trading their 26th overall pick to the Giants, and the Giants going with Jackson Dart. Do you think that Los Angeles or other teams in that kind of mid-20s area will make deals come tonight? So, like, to your point about how this is the first time in a long time that every team has its first-round pick, how much of that stays true, all 32, by 8 o'clock tonight?
Maybe not by 8, but by 9:45. No, I think there will be, because the Browns pick at 33. They're sitting there at 33. So if there is a slip, if Cam Ward's the only quarterback who goes in the first round and Jackson Dart and Shedeur Sanders are sitting there at 33, I mean, first of all, that's a hell of a spot for the Browns, because they could trade 33 if they don't like either one of them and get a bounty for that pick. That pick almost becomes a first rounder. So there's some big value there. We'll ask Dane Brugler that question. He joins us in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Many drugs, like cocaine, methamphetamine, and non-prescription pills, are often cut with dangerous opioids like fentanyl. As a result, nearly 14 Ohioans die daily from unintentional overdoses. That's why it's important to carry naloxone, such as Narcan, a life-saving medication that blocks the effects of fentanyl and other opioids. Over the last 5 years, naloxone has saved over 83,000 lives. Help save lives and visit naloxone.ohio.gov to learn more and find free naloxone. Remember, if you see an overdose occurring, always call 911.
The Bobcat National Sales Event is happening now at Bobcat Enterprises. Get up to $10,000 in rebates or choose financing as low as 0% for 60 months on the industry's most comfortable compact loaders. See Bobcat Enterprises in Hilliard, Reynoldsburg, or Zanesville today for incredible savings during the National Sales Event, and find the current specials and full line of products at bobcatent.com. Some restrictions apply. Length of contract and rate may vary. Offer ends June 30th, 2025. Bobcat Enterprises, celebrating 50 years of serving you.
Buy now with pre-tariff pricing at Coughlin Chevrolet, Central Ohio's #1 Chevy dealer. Lease a new 25 Chevy Trax, $139 a month, or a new 2025 Silverado, just $288 a month at all 5 Coughlin Chevy locations and CoughlinChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Trax is a 36-month lease with $39.99 due at signing. Silverado is a 24-month lease with $49.99 due. Both plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 4/30/25.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Taking the art of sports radio and day drinking to a whole new level. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
I think it's one of the best deals you get out there, and that is you get access with the Beast with your subscription to The Athletic. The man responsible for the Beast is the great Dane Brugler, and he joins us on draft day. Buddy, thank you so much for taking the time on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. You released your final mock draft this morning. You have it going mostly chalk in the top 3 or 4 picks. Let's start with Cleveland at 2. You hear a lot about it would take a Godfather offer for them to not take Hunter at 2. If you're Andrew Berry, what would a Godfather offer be?
It'd have to be multiple ones, I think. I mean, this is a draft where, because I think in most drafts, the Browns would be more than happy to move back. If they didn't have a quarterback at 2 that they wanted, they'd be more than happy to move back a little bit, get that draft capital, load up, and feel like they're in a good spot. But this is a class where it just drops off after those initial 3 or 4 players. And so if you have a chance at number 2 to get the best player in the draft, I think you just have to stick and pick. I think you take the guy that's going to give you a spark on offense, can also play on defense, and you can really be a cornerstone. Like you think about the Browns over the last 15 years. Yeah, they've missed out on the quarterback, but they've had some foundational players, the Joe Thomas, the Myles Garrett. Travis Hunter can be that next guy who's really, can be a foundation player for the next 15 years, type of guy you think could go to Canton one day. Like that's how you view this type of player, and it'd be hard to trade away from that.
What do you think of their plan to play him at receiver primarily first, if he indeed is the pick? And then as kind of an add-on to that, hearing a lot that potentially maybe do you play him as just kind of like a deep safety initially on passing downs to just track down the ball. What do you make of their plan, and what do you make about maybe him playing on the back end of the defense to start?
Well, I'm fascinated to see how it plays out. And regardless of where he goes, whether it's Cleveland or anywhere where he would play, I'm just fascinated to see how each coaching staff would look at it a little bit differently. Personally, I think his best position is, in terms of just upside, is corner. I think he could be a top 3 corner in the league. But if you think he could be a top 10 receiver in the league, then I certainly understand why a team like the Browns would want him to play on offense because of what he brings on that side of the ball. But this is a team that was 32nd in the league in offensive scoring last year. Regardless of who the quarterback is, you need more help around that position, and Travis Hunter gives you that. The athlete, as good of an athlete as he is, the ball instincts might be his best trait, what he does the best and most natural, and that shows on defense and offense. So I'm fascinated to see just the plan overall. If they do start him on offense, like we think, and credit to Andrew Berry, he's been very open about how they view the player. when do they start him on defense? How do they introduce him on defense? Is it to just make him a nickel player, a dime player? Like you said, play him as a deep safety. Let him use those ball instincts, that range that he has. I don't really think there's a wrong answer here. So much of it will be, the playbook and how they adjust things so it's easier for him to not have to be in every single defensive meeting, because that's really the time commitment. There's only so many hours in the day, and you're throwing a lot at these guys, no matter in just playing one position. So the idea of juggling two different positions as a rookie is tough to fathom, but if anybody can do it, it's Travis Hunter.
Yeah, Kevin Stefanski mentioned that yesterday in his availability. Like, he talked to Travis about, hey, it's going to take some after school study if you're going to do both. And Travis said, all I do is play football and fish. So I guess he thinks it'll work. I wanted to ask you about Ashton Jeanty. Most people have him as one of the elite can't-miss guys in this draft. You have him in your most recent and final mock going number 5 to Jacksonville. What type of player are they getting if Jacksonville takes him at 5?
Yeah, and it's funny. Jacksonville fans just killed me 2 weeks ago when I came out with my 7-rounder and I had Jeanty at 5, and I think now it's become a little more of a realistic possibility for them, and I think they've warmed up to it a little bit. But look, we have a first-year general manager in Jacksonville, and they've been really coy about what they're going to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if 5 is kind of where that could be the first chaos pick, where just kind of throw the grenade and see just everything just gets blown up right away. But if that is the pick, if the Jaguars do go Jeanty, I certainly understand why they'd go that direction. We can argue about running back value and positional value and all of that. But if the idea of having a top 5 pick is to draft a player, and you draft players, not positions. And if you want to draft a player that's going to make the greatest impact, that's Ashton Jeanty. Is Mason Graham he's a good defensive tackle? Is he going to make a bigger impact for the Jaguars than Ashton Jeanty? No. So I certainly understand that they go that direction. You think about they have the quarterback in place. You have a stud receiver in place with Brian Thomas. So you have the makings of an offense that can really do some things. And, Trevor Etienne's in the final year of his rookie deal. He averaged under 4 yards a carry last year. It doesn't matter what they have in their depth chart right now because it's just not going to stop them from drafting Jeanty. And for, Liam Cohen coming in and just to see his offense with those 3 playmakers, with Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. and Ashton Jeanty, it would make the Jaguars a lot more fun to watch. I know that.
All right, let's do Cincinnati at 17. You have them going Tyler Booker, the guard out of Alabama, in your final mock. Anytime I hear from Bengals fans, they're quick to say, boy, we need defensive weaponry, and we need a lot of it. Offensive line an issue there, too. They paid big for the receivers and their quarterback. What do you sense Cincinnati's plan will be this weekend? It's a critical draft for them if they're going to get back to being Super Bowl contenders.
No doubt. And, obviously they have so much tied up on offense, bringing both receivers back. There's questions on defense. Is Trey Hendrickson going to be on this team next year? But I thought for sure this pick would be a defensive pick in my final mock draft. But there is some buzz out there for Tyler Booker and the idea of, look, one rookie is not going to completely change our defense. Do we need to get better on that side of the ball? No doubt. But if we think about taking the best player for our team, that could be Tyler Booker. You drop him in that offensive line, really helps stabilize things, especially on the interior, where you take away some of that interior push to really help Joe Burrow feel more comfortable. And, we're just going to outscore everybody. And so that's certainly one way they could go. If this ends up being defense, nobody would be shocked. And again, I don't think it's, they have to go pass rusher. They have to go secondary. They have to go linebacker. Just find a playmaker. Find somebody that offenses have to game plan for and say, all right, if we stop him, we have a shot. Or just try to find that guy, whether that's, Derek Harmon on the interior, the defensive line, one of these pass rushers that are toolsy and have, a lot of potential, but, it's a little bit of a gamble. Could it be in the secondary? So, yeah, the Bengals could go in a lot of different directions. But while I would say the assumption is defense, you just can't rule out Tyler Booker there because the fit would be perfect.
All right, back of the first round tonight could get very interesting, especially if quarterbacks haven't gone since number 1 with Cam Ward. In your final mock, you have the Giants coming up to 26 with the Rams and drafting Jackson Dart. No Shedeur Sanders in the first round. Do you anticipate, I guess let's start Pittsburgh at 21. Are they really not going to go quarterback? And if they don't, doesn't that also say, well, then they must know they're getting Aaron Rodgers, which is what I've argued throughout. How much action do you think we will see potentially in the back end?
Well, there's a reason that the over-under in Vegas for Shedeur Sanders is 20.5, right in front of where the Steelers are picking. So very well, that could be the pick. There's a kind of because obviously the Steelers aren't telling me what they're going to do, but when I talk to other teams about what they think the Steelers are going to do, it's very much a split with some saying, look, this is a team that after the Kenny Pickett, the experiment and instead of taking a, plan B at quarterback, let's go build up other needs. There's another side that says, look, you went and traded for DK Metcalf. You need to address the quarterback position. You need to go invest in somebody. It just comes down to how much they love these guys. And, who knows how Shedeur Sanders went to Pittsburgh on a 30 visit. Who knows how that went? Maybe it went great. Maybe it went maybe not good enough for them to Pittsburgh to make that pick. Jackson Dart's going to be in the mix. Could Jalen Milroe get in there? We're definitely going to see some chaos. And, it's a rare year where we have only we assume there's going to be one quarterback in the top 20, and then between 21 and 40, that's where we can see multiple quarterbacks. The last 27 years, it's only happened 3 times where we've had more quarterbacks drafted 21 to 40 compared to the first 20. So this could be one of those unique years, and it's with teams trading up into the back half of round 1. Whether that's the Giants going up from 34, could it be the Browns at 33 going up, the Saints, the Seahawks? There's several teams that will be making those calls just to see, okay, how much is it going to cost us? Is it an extra third? Is it next year's 2? What is it going to take to try to find the right fit and the right dance partner to move up and get one of those quarterbacks? That's going to be the intrigue of tonight's first round.
Folks, this is the real truth about Dane. His Beast, which he publishes every single year, is in every single NFL draft war room. That's how good it is. So check it out. You get smarter. It's a fun companion to watch the draft with, and we get smarter every time you're on. Thanks for your time, buddy. Really appreciate you.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks, Bill.
All right, there he goes. Dane Brugler, NFL Draft at The Athletic. The thing is, it's like 1,500 pages. It's every player who could get drafted. It's awesome. We'll do 3 things on a Thursday up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Steel, walk behind, zero turn, and stand on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
Yo, this is Flavor Flav, and I am coming at you with one of my flavor faves, Raising Cane's. So when you're looking for flavor fast, order in a flash, online or on their app. Raising Cane's. One love.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter. He'll be there quick.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
Save big money on your next project now at Menards. Let the fresh air in and keep the bugs out with replacement door and window screen. It's easy to install, durable against the elements, and comes in a variety of types to fit your needs. All rolls of replacement door and window screen are on sale now through April 27. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Going up. Prices
Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up.
Going up.
But not at Metro. We're pushing the down button.
Going down.
We've lowered prices and give you a 5-year price guarantee on talk, text, and data. Get one line of 5G data for $40. Period. That's 20% lower. Only at Metro.
5-year guarantee on eligible plans. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Not available at Metro with T-Mobile in the past 6 months. Tax applies.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply.
Guys, what's up? It's Matty Ice, and I'm here with Wendy's. And if you're looking for your next sandwich love, check out the Cajun Crunch Chicken Sandwich. This sandwich really has me feeling the heat, and it's packed with bold Cajun flavors that add that perfect little kick. Plus, it's topped with crispy onions that give it a satisfying crunch in every single bite. And did I mention this is all on top of Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich? So if you love that, you have to get your hands on this Cajun Crunch Chicken Sandwich before it's gone. For that little extra kick, it's got to be Wendy's. Open until midnight or later.
After an audit of our programming, the suits here at The Fan decided we needed more baseball. And that common man is stupid. Good news. We fixed one of those problems. Catch the Reds on The Fan all season long. Yay, baseball.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, 3-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, 2-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to lifesearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit lifesearch.com today.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution specialists.
The perfect show for quarter zips and khaki shorts. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what are we on the poll today?
Daily Fan Poll sponsored by Caster Connection, and it asks who will be the second quarterback picked in the NFL draft. Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe, or other are your options. 52% of you think Shedeur is going to be QB2 off the board. 32% say Jackson Dart. 8% say Jalen Milroe. 7% say it'll be somebody else.
And Reese, do you have the race liner? For whatever reason, I'm never able to open that. I know that that's coming up as well, and we want to
it'll be.
Do you have the details on that?
I do. June 21st, we're doing a 5K, a 1-mile fun run / walk. And for the psychos out there, a 9.71 kilometer run. It'll be on the campus of Otterbein University again, Saturday, June 21st. It's 971 the race. It's the inaugural one. You can get tickets at 971therace.com. Also more information as well. So we hope to see everybody out there on that Saturday. It'll be Father's Day weekend. June is Men's Health Month. So all of that kind of works out to be a very wonderful Saturday to just come out. And even if you don't want to do any of the running or the walking, just come out and hang out with us. It's also a good time as any to tell you that Cap City Half Marathon is Saturday. Yeah. So plan your Saturday morning, mid-afternoon driving accordingly between like campus and German Village. You're not going to be able to get around much.
No, certainly not. I should also remind you that obviously the draft is tonight, and we have special programming all week long. Where will the former Buckeye players go? Browns drafting at number 2. Bengals as well. Huge draft for the Steelers. Draft Week on the Fan is presented by Crown Automotive Group of Dublin, offering sales and service for Mercedes-Benz, Ineos, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram. Time for 3 things on a Thursday. Hit it, fellas.
1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
All right, number 1 for me. Bootsy has what I am told by my wife is a relatively large speaking part in a play. Now, I didn't know he even tried out for this or had an interest in it, but apparently he did. Apparently he got a part, and apparently it's tonight. Okay. He's supposed to be there at 6:40. The play starts at 7. I've made the case to my wife that once he's done, I can leave. She's apprehensive about me doing this for the scene it may create. I don't care about the scene. I think the issue really should fall on the folks who scheduled a kids' play on draft night. Like, let's have a sports consultant. Call me. I can tell you when to do it, when not to do it. Easy. Be happy to help.
People know what your job is. There's no scene.
About to say, first thing for me now is they know that you've got to get that pick in. Like, once the Titans Titans take Cam Ward, you've got to run that card into the war room. Like, they should be ever so thankful that you're gracing them with your presence on a night for the franchise, the Cleveland Browns franchise, that is as important as tonight is.
Well, I know, as you guys know, and Drennan was right. I mean, watch out. I'm gonna pull the deal for Dak Prescott tonight. We're gonna get Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons both for number 2.
And if that happens, you heard it here second, because
that's right.
Drennan had it first. Remember these things.
He did.
My first thing earlier in the program, Bo, you mentioned the battling bishops of Ohio Wesleyan.
Mm-hmm.
I was up near the campus of Ohio Wesleyan last night. We were at a fine establishment right in downtown Delaware. It was a beautiful evening, so we sat out front on the patio right on the main drag there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty of people, obviously, walking by. A lot of foot traffic there. This younger couple comes walking by. The man is carrying the baby, and he stops in front of the establishment we're at, and then all of a sudden he starts to walk in the establishment. The lady he's with is like, what are you doing? He was probably about 10 or 15 feet away. She goes, what are you doing? He's like, come on, let's go. Let's cut through here. And she's like, no, we can't do that. And he's like, yeah, we can. And he just turns around and takes the baby and walks through the establishment to go out back and probably to wherever their car is parked.
To go through the other side?
Yes. She disgustingly looks at him while this is going on, and he gets far enough away. She just continues on walking, goes around the building, and I'm guessing goes around back to wherever their car is. So I'm pretty sure that gentleman, whatever doghouse is at his house, he was sleeping in it last night.
That's one of those ones where you said there was a kid involved, right?
Yeah, he's holding probably like a 2-year-old kid.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that all sense of decorum is lost when you have a 2-year-old. And this will be number 2 for me. When they're that age, and it's really from, I'd say like 11 months to about 2.5, where they're mobile, they can babble, but they can't communicate great, and they want to go everywhere, you just lose your senses entirely. And it's really not until they're like 3 that you get a hold of things again. I mean, people always say newborn. No, newborn's easy. They can't go anywhere. That's simple. First year is a cakewalk. It's when they become mobile up until they can walk and communicate. That's when it's really the toughest part. So I'll give him a pass while acknowledging that was probably a long night at the Homestead.
We talked a little bit about this yesterday. George Kittle missing voluntary workouts for the Niners. And we had said because he was in Vegas all weekend for WrestleMania. Well, Diana Rossini had reporting from sources that there's a contract dispute. Kittle wants a new deal done. But Brock Purdy showed up despite also being deserving of a brand new deal. And George Kittle replied to her actually on Twitter, which I don't know if it's the smart thing to do. He said, your source is incorrect. Obviously, he's in Vegas all weekend. Like, I'm good for about a week to recover there. But do athletes need to be responding to reporters on Twitter?
No, but I think the lines are totally skewed. I don't think sometimes athletes know the difference between like a reporter and just somebody on social media.
The world we live in nowadays.
Yeah, I don't think they can tell the difference. I really don't.
Second one for me, rough couple of days here in the sports world, actually, with the passing of Mike Patrick 2 days ago. And then, of course, the news that Steve Mongo McMichael had passed away yesterday. Obviously, his long battle with ALS. So glad that they got him in the Hall of Fame before his life ended yesterday. Always remember Mike Patrick for the call on the Music City Miracle and how he was just baffled that they didn't call that a lateral. And, of course, I really know Mongo. Obviously, he was a part of that 85 Bears defense. I remember him as part of the Four Horsemen in WCW during the Monday Night Wars, a U.S. heavyweight champion, Steve Mongo McMichael.
Yeah, he was an unbelievable. I mean, think about that Bears team with him and Dan Hampton and Richard Dent and Singletary and McMahon. I mean,
the Fridge.
Lord. That personality was just... Ditka? Buddy Ryan? No wonder they made a 30 for 30 out of it. Number 3 for me, I love the draft. I love the hopefulness of it. I love how you believe it can flip a franchise around. I'll be glued all the way through all the picks. Good luck to the Buckeyes. Hopefully a bunch of them go tonight. Obviously, a lot of them are going to go tomorrow, but should be a lot of fun.
It does feel like we just did this, but EA Sports College Football 2026 will be available to play on July 10th.
Wow, that's early.
Yeah.
Coming up on Rothman and Ice today, it is a Gold Jacket Thursday. God, I hated this guy when I was young because of what he did to the Cleveland Browns, but one of the heaviest hitters of all time, Steve Atwater.
Oof, jeez. Yeah, that makes you quiver thinking about it. He'll put you in your spot. Enjoy the draft tonight, kids. We're back tomorrow to break down round 1. Rothman and Ice coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The only radio show Ryan Day listens to when we're holding him hostage, making him listen to a radio show. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
It's the final days of Diamonds Direct's annual spring sale. This is your last chance to get an extra 20% off our already renowned prices. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off your purchase. But hurry, these savings end soon. And this weekend only, we're open Sunday to give you an extra day to shop our expanded selection of trending engagement ring settings, his and hers wedding bands, must-have fine jewelry, and more. Time is running out. 20% off, store-wide savings. Visit diamondsdirect.com for details.
Hey, living with chronic pain. It's like trying to get comfortable on a cactus sofa, walking on pins and needles. Nothing feels good. And forget trying to do the things you love and enjoy. Like the spring, it's getting warm, whether you want to golf, whether you want to hike, whether you want to bike, whether you want to play pickleball. You're just trying to get by. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter here. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. Finally, calm that debilitating joint pain in your knee just like I did. Maybe it's your hip, your shoulder, your back. Don't miss a beat, no surgery or long recovery. I'm done with getting cut on. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They give you your life back. A life healthier, free of harmful meds. That's the whole mission of QC Kinetics. You could be a candidate. So go to qckinetics.com/Columbus to find out how easy it is. They've got offices now in Canal and Grove City, so call 380-208-4544.
Rosati Windows, the best buying experience in the business.
I realize that people have options when choosing replacement windows, so I appreciate each and every customer. Before you make a decision, you owe it to yourself to see what makes us different. Our prices are competitive, we react quickly to service issues, and we control every decision that goes into building and installing our top quality products. We're just able to take better care of our customers.
Call Rosati Windows today, 777-4806.
When your boy Flavor Flav counts from 3, you're gonna go to Cane's and you're gonna order hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers. 3, 2, 1. Raising Cane's. One love.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Let's go to the floor with some late-breaking developments on the markets. Jim?
Up things are down, down things are up.
Sounds like things
You don't understand. Right is left, lemons are sweet, spaghetti is cold, the milk is warm.
Okay, but are you seeing anything that maybe smart-minded money people should know about?
Yeah. Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Probably one of the most stable things you can do is an Apex Pros air conditioner tune-up.
Air conditioner tune-ups, you say?
Oh, yeah. Apex Pros knows most expensive summer breakdowns can be prevented by getting a tune-up now.
Yes, it's known that a tuned-up AC lowers energy bills, which is important to...
Oh, this is unbelievable.
What, big sell-off? Huge increase?
No, I spilled coffee on my new shirt. Anyway, tune-up save on energy bills, plus make your air conditioner last years longer.
Good to know Apex Pros keeps things stable and predictable.
That's on my pants, too. This is the worst day. This is historic. You know that.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Common Man here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Watching big events are more fun at Hollywood Casino. For example, there's this draft thing coming up. Large men get selected to move to different cities and play football. That's all I'm legally allowed to say. Not only do you get the excitement of on-site wagering and camaraderie, there's prizes to win at the Sportsbook. And sign up for Penn Play Rewards and play up to $500 on the house. Do it now. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company.